Greetings. I am Kanaya Williams, a sophomore biology major from Savannah, Georgia, and my persuasive topic is on Nat Turner. Nat Turner was an enslaved black man who was hanged and skinned in Jerusalem, Virginia, after being convicted of leading a revolt against his masters. He had support from 60 to 70 slaves after he freed them, and basically these slaves went around to each of their masters' houses and killed each of them, and then they were able to join his group. And then after the group was over, he had almost 70 slaves. Nat Turner grew up without a father, who was reported to have escaped to the north, so he never really knew who his father was, but they could not confirm nor deny this rumor that his father was in the north, but this was just, talk that went around. Since his mother was very religious, he also expressed his religion very openly, and due to this, he was also a very religious man as well, and this led to him having what was known as visions. And then he had them one time and he ended up running away. The first time that he had a vision, he ended up running away, but he later returned a month later because he was kind of confused and he didn't understand what was going on, and he figured out that these were signs from God. And he also later on had another vision, and he witnessed the eclipse as well, which also led up to him trying to start this rebellion. His mother knew that he was intended for greatness, and she often went around the compound telling everybody and letting everybody know that her son was really special and he had something in store for him. He was influenced by stories of John Brown as a child, the former person, and then he was often passed around a lot as a slave. He had multiple owners, and even one of his owner's wives, when she became a widow, she ended up marrying him. I believe her last name was Amore, something like that. And Nat Turner also learned how to read and write as a child. So his mother made sure that he knew how to get around and how to fend for himself. He was also known as the Chosen One due to these visions as well, and how highly everybody spoke about him. Of course, he had visions, and then he heard voices. And also when he was on a plantation, he did run away again, but he had a vision and it brought him back again. He started the rebellion because of an eclipse. In his rebellion, Turner killed 60 white men, women, and children. Over 70 slaves joined Turner on his march to Jerusalem from Southampton, where he was captured, tried, and executed. And they even went as far as to skin him just to try to prove a point. And when he ran away and they could not find him, they passed a lot of laws for the already free African-American slaves, and the ones who weren't even free, they were punishing them, killing them, until Nat Turner came out, and they told him that until you come out and show yourself, other slaves will be killed and hanged and tortured as well, which was the main reason on why he did end up coming out and showing who he was, because he did escape. Technically, he did escape. But after all that happened, then that's when he came out. His rebellion had the most deaths in an uprising before Civil War. And in response to Mr. Turner's revolt, at least 9 states, Virginia, Alabama, Delaware, Georgia, Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee passed laws targeting enslaved and free black people and limiting their mobility. The laws prohibited black people from assembling freely, conducting independent religious services, or preaching to a crowd of more than 5 people. Some states passed laws criminalizing the education of black people, prohibiting black people from learning to read or to write. Some states also passed laws barring free black people from living in certain states as well, all because of this rebellion. Nat Turner viewed society as cruel and harmful to him as a slave. He wanted to change society. so that slaves could be free, as most abolitionists did as well. So he wanted the same things as everyone else. He just felt like this was the only way to go about it. He did not believe in violence, but he said that this was a vision from God, that fighting the black and white spirits against each other, that this was the only way that he felt that it would be able to be solved. And I also learned in my research that he was also an educated minister, and that he destroyed the Southern myth that slaves were actually happy with their lives or too docile to undertake a violent rebellion, which is what a lot of white people thought about them, because after this rebellion went on, they sent in the militia troops to come in and kill a lot of slaves and also torture them really bad to the point of death, to show them that if this ever happened again, an uprising ever happened again, we're not scared of you. And thank you. That is all for our presentation.